Well, new year, new financial decisions. 2024 will be a busy year. It's an election year. Interest rates have been kind of all over the place, increasing, and international conflicts have intensified. All these things can certainly impact your wallet. Dan Casey from Bridge River Advisors joins us now to explain how. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us so early.
Thank you for having me.
So a lot of things have made headlines, and interest rates most recently. So let's just talk a little bit about that and what you see going into 2024.
Yes, so to help decrease the growth of the economy and fight inflation, the Federal Reserve raised rates dramatically last year. So they kind of in their last meeting said that, that's probably peaked and they're going to start to decrease those rates this year in order to kind of spur the economy so it doesn't slow the economy too much and put us into a recession. And it seems like so far they're doing a pretty good job. So the fine line is if they do cut rates too much, that might spur the economy, get massive growth. And then with massive growth, inflation can come back. So it's always it's a fine line that they got to try to walk to make sure that they, keep us in line.
Yeah, so many moving parts, right?
Yes, totally.
And when you talk about inflation, that has just really been key for a lot of people, just how we've seen that. How does that affect us individually with our investments?
Yeah, so it affects everything. Even when you're young, if you got inflation at 5–6%, the stock market, you can usually make more than that. So even if you're young, you need to grow your money more than inflation, obviously. When you're retired, you want to make sure that if you're pulling money and you've got that income stream coming through, that it also stays above inflation, or you're not going to be able to keep up with it.
Sure.
You might have to tap your assets a little bit more. So that's when, for our clients, we're looking at income annuities. Your Social Security is already basically annuity. So maybe if you've got a gap, that you still have, to go into an income annuity. So your money is guaranteed. That's not to worry about. And then you can take all the risk you want in the other money if you've got the income that you need.
And the important thing is you have to have the income, because if you tap into that early, you're going to be penalized too, like a 401 or things like that. So you want to just grow. You don't want to be taken out earlier than you should.
And really, it's just have a plan.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Okay.
If your money buckets have a plan, then there's no worry. So if you set aside enough buckets for your income, well, then there's no worry. So you can take more risk maybe over here and not freak out so much and open your statements every month and call me saying, why my...
Yeah, I raise my hand to that, opening the statements, and you just kind of shake your head at times. But this is also an election year. So how would that, how does that kind of impact us?
It always affects this. So here's the statistics. You want to know the facts? So going all the way back to 1926, the year of an election year is the market, and when I say market, S&P 500 is up 86% of the time. Okay. So it's a good odds that we're probably going to be up this year. So that's always good.
Okay, well, great. And then we talk about overseas conflicts.
Yes.
So we know those are intensifying. We bring that home to our finances. How does that impact us with our investments?
So there's always what's called in our industry a wall of worry when it comes to, there's always something to worry about. There's always some sort of international incident or something. So as of right now, I don't really see that it's going to affect anything, in the long term.
Okay.
The saying with the stock market is it never makes sense in the short term, but if you've got the long term, it always makes sense. It always goes up if you give me enough time.
And many of us need to do that. Look at the long term, not panic.
Not panic.
Many people in 2008 panicked, and we know what happened then. So you just want to let it grow if you can, and then if you're getting ready to retire, then you're a great person to give us that advice too.
Don't put money in the stock market if you don't have a 5-year horizon at least before touching it.
Perfect advice. So we want more advice. So how do we get a hold of you?
BridgeRiverLLC.com.
Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to have you.